guys believe it's only 67 days till Halloween? 67 days. Yeah. So today I'm going to be talking about this, Jeff DeGordick, and we're going to be talking about this. Yeah. Come back after the intro. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's me, Richard, with Nightmares Anyone. So, yeah. Wow. It is, 67 days until Halloween. Can you believe it? Yeah, today it is, wow. It's Sunday, August 20-something. I don't know what the hell day it is. But I've got Reagan McNeil. Yeah. Your mother sucks cocks in hell, Karis. Hey, that's what she said, not me. So, you guys are going to notice my little friend Carrie White up there. My little friend Pennywise, my little Popsy. Yeah, and that right there is a handwritten letter by Stephen King. But we're not talking about Stephen King today. But I've got this book to talk about. I'm going to be talking about Elvira's Memoir. And I want to welcome some new subscribers to the channel. And I've got something in here I want to share with you guys. So, in no particular order, let's welcome to the channel Andrew Day, Patrick Cotton, Samuel Reese, Allison Myers, Sherry Radisson, and Reagan Sands. So hey everybody, welcome to Nightmares Anyone. I'm Richard. I'm the host of the channel. I'm the one that reads all this horror and all this scary stuff around us. So, yeah. So, welcome to the channel. If you guys like horror as much as I do, I've been reading horror for over 55. Wow. 55s. Yeah, 54 years. My God. So, yeah. I think I might have shown all of you guys this before, but somebody asked if I could show it again. So yeah, these are some Carrie collectible pins that I got. And yeah, somebody asked me, Richard, can you show that Carrie White Burns in Hell sticker again? Yeah, this is badass. For sale, Carrie White Burns in Hell. And then I got two of the, I was gonna wear this t-shirt today. It's kind of funny. If you've got a taste for terror, take Carrie to the prom. And then Carrie White for prom queen. Yeah, just a cruel joke. But yeah, so yeah, so Amanda and Alex, there's those again. So I want to talk to you guys about Elvira. Now, Elvira, where do I start with Elvira? So, years ago, growing up in the 70s, I grew up in the Seattle, Tacoma area, and we had our local Nightmare Theater with our local horror movie host, The Count. He used to scare the holy shit out of me as a kid. Now, every Halloween, growing up in the Seattle area, we had the Cairo Channel 7 Haunted House, which was put on by the local Seattle JCs, and then KTAC 85 AM radio, they would also do the KTAC Haunted House. And these two haunted houses every year, the one was in Seattle, and then the KTAC 85 AM radio, their haunted house was in Tacoma, where I grew up and where I graduated. Now, I volunteered in the KTAC 85 haunted house for like 4 years. It was so much fun because we used to, oh my God, they used to put us in hours of makeup, and we used to be able to just scare the holy hell out of people. Now, me being 6'3.5", I could always pull off like the Frankenstein monster, or I used to love to get to hide, get to be one of the people in the pitch black room or in the graveyard. And it used to be so much fun because, yeah. So Elvira didn't really come around until the 80s. And now, living in California now, since 93, we did have Elvira, and she was always Elvira Movie Macabre. I never really followed her until just when I think it was like 1990. I don't even know. I should know because I just listened to her this right here, Cruelly Yours, Love Elvira. This came out in 2022, I believe, and she was born in 1951, so she's 10 years older than I am, and so that makes her like 73 years old. Now, this memoir had come across my recommendations the other night on my Everend. I was looking for a new book to listen to, and I thought, what the hell? It's narrated by Cassandra Peterson, also known as Elvira, so I thought that would be perfect. I listened to this today, with this being Sunday right now. I finished this last night, and I started it Friday night, and let me tell you what, I had no idea that Elvira had done all that she had did in her career. She started out at the age of 14. She moved out. She was at a year and a half. I did know this. I did know that Elvira was horribly scarred, over almost 40% of her body, but I didn't know how it had happened and how young she was. It had happened in 1953. She was only a year and a half old, and Cassandra talks about it in her memoir, and she was just a baby. Yeah, she had climbed up on a stool, in her mother's kitchen when she was just a baby, and it was Easter, and she could hear the Easter eggs boiling in a big Dutch oven on the stove. So yes, the water was boiling hot. She reached up, grabbed that pot, and pulled it over her as an infant, as just a baby. and it had burned her so bad that her eyelids were melted, yes, fused together. And Cassandra talks about it in this memoir of hers. Now, I can't imagine, you know, being burned at such a young age. I think it would be a horrible, horrible thing to experience. But hopefully, you know, Cassandra does not remember it happening, but she does talk about it very detailed in this memoir. And like I said, I had no idea that Elvira had done everything that Elvira had done. Now, I remember watching her movie Mistress of the Dark when it came out in the 90s, and I laughed my ass off. I remember seeing it in the theater, and it was a critical panned bomb, but she talks about it, and it was a lesson that she learned after her and her husband had put all of their savings and everything else. But as I was listening to this book, to take a love of, you know, horror, like we all love horror, and we have to, you know, most of us have to admit, there's been those horror movies that were just so bad they were good, and one of them being Motel Hell is one of my favorite movies of the 80s, and it's a cult classic. But Elvira is a cult classic. She created this character that was a spoof and a hysterical, very sexual knockoff of Vampira, and who was also stolen from the Vampirella character of the 50s. And yeah, to hear her talk of how she created this character, it was fascinating. I loved this this memoir, and to hear it in her own voice and in her own words, it just wow, she really put a mark on everybody who ever watched those movies. And if you've never seen Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, or Movie Macabre movie, we all know who Elvira was and is. She's still going strong today, and it just yeah, I was impressed. I was so impressed. So highly recommend it. Listen to the audiobook if you can. Listen to it being told by the woman who wrote it and by the woman who lived it, and hear it in Elvira's voice. But one of the things I will never forget is hearing about her and Tom Jones. And I'll guarantee it, whether you listen to it or whether you read it, you'll never forget what she's going to tell you about Tom Jones. Now, on to, you guys all know how much I love Jeff DeGordick. I've had him on my channel before. I recently reached out to him, and he's also the author of this big chunker, the Bone King. This was his most recent book, and I've done a review on this here on the channel. He has always sent me his books. He's always autographed them for me. But one of the books that I didn't have, and I did order this just a couple years back. This is A Haunting at Hollow's Cove. Now, this is Jeff's very first published book. And it says in the front of the book, this was previously published. And it was originally published, this novel was originally published as The Ghost of Hollow's Cove under the name Kyle Butler in 2012. Now, this book, like Jeff's books, is not a huge book. It has only got 276 pages, but I'm going to read the back of it. It says, some hauntings follow you. Mark Winters comes home from work to find his worst nightmare, his family murdered. The only clue at the crime scene is a mysterious brochure for an old rundown fishing lodge. When he arrives, Mark finds that there's something strange about the locals and even stranger about the lodge. It sits on the edge of a lake, overlooking an ominous island on the water that the locals warn him to stay away from. But Mark starts to see the ghost of his son, who wants him to go to that island and discover secrets long forgotten. But as Mark digs into the past and tries to solve the puzzle, forces far more powerful and evil than he can imagine conspire to use him for their ends. Because somebody wanted him to come. They've been waiting for him, and Mark soon finds out that some secrets are better left buried. I'm going to read you, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I want to read you something. This is one of the reasons why I love this man's writing. He writes, now the first books that I ever discovered of his were his Halloween House books, The Witch of Halloween House, and but I want to read this to you. It says, Mark looked in horror as a pale white face, rotting and bloated with water, stared up at him. The body was naked and devoid of any gender. It was a hideous, vague corpse that looked like it was dredged up from hell itself. Its flesh was slimy and looked as if it had started to peel, revealing a network of black veins underneath. The nappy hair coming out of its head was caked with a disgusting grime. The flesh on its fingers was peeled down to discolored bone. Its eyes were picked clean, leaving black holes in its skull. Its teeth were bared, each blackened, diseased tooth jutting crookedly out of its face. He shrunk away from the ghastly figure. A coldness wrapped around his ankle. As he looked down, he saw those bony yellow fingers gripped tightly on his leg. With slow realization, his gaze traced along the corpse's arm up to its face. The face was looking at him. There were no eyes, but it could see. This man writes with such description, and you can actually see, feel, and you can smell what he's writing about. This book I enjoyed a lot. Now, the opening scene was really, really graphic. It was very disturbing. When Mark comes home and comes into the house, he's not greeted by his kids and his wife like normal, and he knows something's wrong. But when he finds his family so gruesomely and horribly murdered, you think, wow, to think that this was this man's first published book. Wow. Jeff, you could have only gone anywhere, and that was straight up and to get better. And I did. I just read this over the last week. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. I gave it a solid 4 out of 5. I would even bump it up to 4.5. There was this one scene where I emailed Jeff about the other day, and I was kind of confused because I had to reread those couple pages again, and then it made more sense. Sorry, I have the hiccups. But if you've never read his book, pick up any of his works. My favorites of his, which there are 3 books. Yeah, The Witch of Halloween House, and there's 2 other books after that. Those I've read twice. They're on my annual reread every couple of years for Halloween. I've given those books to a lot of my nieces and nephews, and they're just, he writes for anybody. Be warned, this does open pretty gruesomely. It is a very quick read. It's it's very well written, and for being a book that, to think that it's an author's very first published work, wow. And I know my friend Tammy Ellis is reading The Bone King now. She might be done with it now. I do need to get a hold of her and see what she thought and if she's done yet. But yeah, and then I wanted to share with you guys some new books that I've gotten in the mail in the last couple days. I just recently discovered L.A. Detweiler, and I think I might have talked to you guys about her writing in the last couple videos. But I just got these in the mail day before yesterday. Here's The Christmas Bell, and here's The Redwood Asylum. And both of these books are loosely somehow connected to the book of hers that I really just got done reading and loved. So you guys, yeah, check out any of Jeff DeGordick's works. I'll put a link down below to his channel. I'll put a link to this book and his other works. And hey, I do look forward. I've got 4 or 5 books coming in the mail right now that I just recently ordered over the last couple days from Jeff. So I'm looking forward to getting those. And hopefully I've got to have some medical procedures done over here, hopefully within the next month. But I really look forward to having Jeff on the channel, and I do want to have him back on the channel again before Halloween. And so hey, you guys, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for taking time out of your day and stopping by and seeing what I had to say about both of these books. I loved both of them. I loved them. I loved both of them. And you can check out my reviews on my Goodreads channel, which is right here. And if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it. If you like watching, coming back to my channel, reading, if you love reading horror, if you like to hear and see what I've talk about and what I want to share with you guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right about here somewhere. Throw me a thumbs up, and hey, you guys, pick up a good scary book, have great nightmares, and just remember, you never know what's over your shoulder. Take care, you guys. I can't even talk right now. I'm having like tongue-tied. Why? Just stay scared, have great nightmares, and hey, pick up a good book and live your life like a book. Just don't turn that last page, because you don't know. You just don't. You don't want it to end. Keep it going. Hey, so take care, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. See ya. Take care, everybody.